What's up there, Goober Myers? So, the rotpriest. Bless me farther, for I have rotted. Bent to squat, wanted to shot, but only sharted? No, never was much good at the limericks. In any case, let's talk about that rotpriest, right? So how goes it? How goes the rotpriest? Let's talk about him. I have come across it. I am not playing it. I actually bought an expensive monkey. So, plus I had, look at, ooh boy, I love me that card. Just picked that one up. I also picked up a couple of the framed ones that have like a modern frame, like being like a normal frame and not like a frame from when Gemstone Mine came out, the old Dominaria run. And it looks so bizarre to see that artwork with like a, let's see, we'll find one here. To see that artwork come on. Okay, to see this artwork, now here, I guess this is with that black, you know what I'm saying? It just is crazy. It looks crazy to me. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the rotpriest and how troublesome it is, but also how brilliant some people are making these decks, man. Particularly the Gruul one impresses me. Now, the one I've been coming up against continually is a Simic. And it is, doing kind of some storm things, like pumping. The guy playing it, the build is based on one that's being played on Arena right now. But he's got it better because it has modern legal stuff in it. And basically, the way I've been dealing with it is, it's hilarious, but we're putting the burgers on the griddle there, and we're just using this stupid mono red deck. But I've optimized it a bit. I've added, there's pretty much nothing in there that's not a one drop. It's got some lava spikes. We replaced some things with more efficient things. And basically, as soon as I see a rotpriest, man, I go, Zaboo, you are out. We do not want to see you, man. Zaboo. Because these decks, now, I want to take on a Gruul one. I only wish that there was a player in my area. It's all commander, man. It is all commander or like standard / pioneer, which I'm sorry, but I will not get involved in the hellscape that is standard. It's hard enough finding like, people that don't think weirdly of my weird ways and stuff with these goofy decks and stuff, but hard enough is it to find good like modern format players. And again, I'm like totally shocked by the cards that are in modern that are legal. As someone that played just kind of like casually like 60 card decks as like something to have like a flavoring for commander, really like commander is like it, man. But modern being the way it's played, every day I am shocked. Like, you guys will think this is crazy, but to me, like, I could have sworn Underworld Breach was banned in Modern. And just finding out today that it isn't blows my mind. So, that being said, I think Commander players, particularly me speaking, I don't know about others, but are not playing Modern maybe. But just knowing what is in these decks and the legality of these is amazing to me. And the decks being built are awesome, like horrifyingly awesome. Particularly MTG Deckmasters. Just a shout out on that Gruul deck you are running. That is amazing. I would love to go up against that, and I'm sure it would just hammer time me, man. But maybe not, Maybe the random number generator of the shuffle will be on my side, as it so often is not. In any case, that's how I'm dealing with this card. And I did say I'm not buying that. There it is. There's where venerated rotpriest is, right there. Oh, but a man can have but 4 passions in life, be they tenor, banjo, magic, the gathering, be it poison, rotpriest, or Ragavan the monkey. And I chose the monkey this time. Boy, howdy. In any case, oh, I'm a goof. But that's how we're dealing with the rotpriest. We are removing on site. which is a similarly playing an infect deck, like infect and cedh. Let's talk about that, or an edh. People that have never played competitive edh or like, optimizing decks as much as they can, when they see like what infect is, you do 10 infect damage in commander, you win. I mean, that's crazy. That is 1/4 of the life total the players start with. So that in itself is crazy. So that being said, the idea that you could take down that life total, to a lot of players, this is like, hey, I'm going to get in with a knife in the dark, so to speak, or like a Trojan horse, kind of like get all these cheap casting creatures, or like a Finn the Fangbearer. Like, to me, this has always been the more viable. This, coupled with like a Vorinclex, whenever a creature you control Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. Proliferate it, run Death Touch. Every creature have Death Touch. That would be where I'd go nowadays with that route, with Finn the Fangbearer. Because there's more Death Touch. You can run the infect creatures with Finn. You can get a sort of a Death Touch tribal infect elf thing like I got going here. With this modern deck, I mean, it'd be a singleton format, of course, with Commander. But this rotpriest is different than this, because, like, this is let's say somebody brings Skittlestron to a cedh table. So here we are, let's say I'm playing Kalia, Skittlestron's at the table. So I'm going to be like this. Let's say somebody, cracks Skittlestron turn 2. I'm going to counter that. And not only am I going to counter Skittles, I'll be like, hey, if somebody does this for me, I have a counter spell because I run tons of them. I'm going to counter Skittles. If anybody wants, I'll counter it. I'll deal with Skittles right now, but don't mess with me. So political things, I mean, it's like, hey, let's take care of infect, then we'll play commander. However, in modern, infects, I looked at that rotpriest and I'm like, man, you are banned, buddy, out the gate. But then I thought for a second, you're thinking with a cedh brain, Richard. Think with the little modern brain that you have, that little lumpy modern thing you use that makes weird decks. And I said, you know what? This won't be banned in modern. Dies to removal. And I mean, turn 2, like, that is impressive. I mean, my goodness. Now, it looks like that blue and green, the guy told me, is running like turn 3 wins and turn 4 wins is the sweet spot. And I said, do you ever get a turn 2? He said, no, not running red, but he said he's going to maybe build one with the red also and get another play set of those and do like one. Because I said, dude, you got to check out this MTG Deckmasters. Check those decks out. I think it'll be, but again, like, not a lot of people playing modern, so I don't, I probably like 7 people I can think of in my area, opposed to like 30 people that play commander around here, from game store to game store. But that being said, I say buy the rotpriest, but in commander, I still say this card will be banned. Because alone, I can think of so much I can do with the rotpriest. Like I was saying with that, I mean, so much interaction. Like, say the rotpriest was legendary for a second. Let's say our venerated rotpriest was legendary. I mean, we get our commander out. What is venerated rotpriest? What is the drop on that? It's a low cost. It's a 1-drop. It's a 1-drop 1/2. It's very similar to like a Glistener elf. Yeah, it's like a 1-drop 1/2. Okay, so let's say that is our commander. Oh my god, man. So turn 1, bring out your commander. My goodness, man. If you have like 1 extra mana, man, in cedh, we always got 2 mana on turn 1. It is rare where you're not going to do something where you get 2 mana. So just to hit him, you don't even have to attack with it. Just hit it with a giant growth. Hit it with everything. Just do like a Voltron. I mean, if that was a legendary creature, that would absolutely kill cedh. Because you could just, every deck would be mono green, run that commander with just spells. And bang, you just... Oh, is anybody with me? Like, think about that for a second. Let's just think that venerated rotpriest, right? A 1-drop, 1/2. My goodness. If that was a commander, ban city. but it's not a commander, but still it can be in a commander deck. I mean, it's going to need to be ran in green. So this will be banned in commander because just like looking at it, my Selvala deck, it's like, man, should I get every elf that has infect and the rotpriest and run that in Selvala? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bow and bend to the market and do that. I'm going to compartmentalize what I'm doing. And I don't like that. I'm sorry. That card is overpowered in cedh. And we here at Lizards of the Toast say, ban, ban, ban. Ban the rotpriest in cedh, EDH, and commander formats. Unless, you know, and I don't support, like what my wife says, that there should be 20 infect damage in commander. I don't support that. I think no, because infect has its limitations. It's fair, and it gets bullied, man. I see it happen, like Skittles. Oh my goodness, like those Skittles guys get just like, okay, let's kill this Skittles person, and then we will go ahead and go forward and play our commander game with 3. It's brutal. And that being said, though, like in modern formats, die to removal, once those rot priests are gone, I mean, just like, it's going to make people have to run like a pithing needle. So every deck will run a pithing needle, and they'll say, rot priest. And it'll just be a thing. So then rot priest, everybody will have to run something where we'll all just say rot priest. And, yeah, that will be it. So that is a bannable card right there. Like Ragavan, I often thought would be banned in Commander. But then I'm like, you know what? It's not that powerful. Early game, man, you got it turn 1, turn 2. Wow, that's where it really shines. But no, you know, but that Rot Priest is going. When this hits the table, you know, this Rot Priest and people in Commander, where you can be like turn 3, like hitting that thing with spells, it's over. It's done. People are going to be like, no, we're not going to do this. And proliferate, coupled with other infect builds, it will, you just can't. And it will have to be dealt with in Commander. Just like, if I ran that in Selvala, like if you play, you know, the Serpapard, if you play the Allosaurus Shepherd, like if you create a situation where that thing cannot be countered, turn 2, you could pretty much create a situation where that thing is going to have some lightning greaves on it, where you could do some mongoose action. There's, yeah. I mean, honestly, like, if it was legendary, it would, like, nerf it in modern formats. But if it was legendary, it would make it, like, a god commander. Not even a god commander, like a broken commander. And I love broken things. Like, I love to break the game. But it's a bit much. That Rot Priest. And that being said, I think it's great for modern. So if you're playing it in modern, I would be playing it myself. I'm just kind of, like, hung up on, like, this deck here in its form, where I don't necessarily want to go changing it so much, or like, you know, but it wouldn't be a too terrible of a thing to do, I suppose. And the deck is good enough to where the Rot Priest would be amazing in it. However, it's just one of those things, you know, like you go in a direction with a deck, and I have memories of like doing things with this deck. Just like adding this Blossoming Defense. Another one where watching MTG Deckmasters tipped me off. And I'm like, man, I didn't even think of Blossoming Defense. It is a 1 mana 2/2, gives the hexproof. Because I thought, yeah, it is a 1 mana. 1 mana, that's awesome. And what it does, that is amazing. And I can't say enough about those videos. MTG Deckmasters, being like new to the modern format, has become one of my, and by new, I said I've been playing it for a few years, but I'm just getting my decks modern legal to where I was playing things I thought were modern legal, which weren't, like tainted lands, and not utilizing things that I totally thought were not legal in modern. But MTG Deckmasters, great site, and totally awesome information. And if I could ever afford to give money to a Patreon, I would give it to that MTG Deckmasters Patreon because it's awesome. Especially for modern, like food for thought. And when you see good decks, like Like when I built like Kalia or Selvala, like not that they're good decks, but the good parts of them, you see like other decks, like a lot of like Selvala, like Winota cards, different cards you see in like cedh colors. So again, or I'm sorry, Kalia of the Vast I was speaking of. But her colors, being able to run the Mardu is a huge advantage. So that is the kind of thing, like watching videos like mine and like MTG Deckmasters and any video you can. Watch bad decks because you may see something in the deck that's like, hey, it clicks. Just like me with this artifact thing I'm working on in my Kalia. I've been winning with artifact ETBs instead of like sacrifice. Because remember I said the obvious thing is not always the best thing. So like you'll find no Mayhem Devil in there. And there's good reason for it. Mayhem Devil's great, but when Mayhem Devil would hit the table, it would be gone. Every time. If people played with me more than a couple times, I could not, I'd have to play a silence before Mayhem Devil. And unfortunately, the silence cost would interfere sometimes. If you don't have things that can't be interacted with, it's just, I found like using a few creatures to like break up, like a team to do what Mayhem Devil does, to get like a few creatures that can do parts of what Mayhem Devil does, and they work not necessarily together, but separate. That's better because let's say you get two of those things on the board, you have two things. So similarly, like with rotpriest, MTG Deckmasters has created a deck where I say like get in quick and use like removal. Like, so here's my answer when I play the Simic that is like built around the rotpriest. My answer is hitting them to the face. So if I'm dealing 3 damage, so turn 2, let's say I hit to the face 2 lightning bolts. Well, instead of hitting 2 lightning bolts and doing 6 damage turn 2, I have to remove a rotpriest turn 1. But I can still do that damage on turn 2. So if I play my lands turn 1, they play their rotpriest on the first turn. On my turn, I lightning bolt rotpriest. And they're not going to have a mana up. I guarantee they won't. Because I've seen it. I mean, maybe sometimes, somehow. But in that Simic I've been going against, that Simic deck, that's how I was beating it. So that would come out. And then the guy, I don't want to, like, I'll say a name or anything. But, you're my buddy. I just don't want to say your name on here. Because I don't know if you want that. If you ever want to come play and be on camera, I would love it, man. And I do love playing with you, and your decks are amazing, bud. And that Simic deck you've built is awesome. And it's just as cool as MTG Deckmasters, so you should probably do it on here. Maybe we can even feature it on this channel. But I get away with myself. Anyways, so we deal with it. Turn 2, let's say we got like a lava spike and a lightning bolt. So turn 2, we're going to deal that 6 damage. They're going to play their rotpriest, okay? But we have to keep answering to that. So on our next turn, let's say we play our land. So we have 3 lands, play 1 lightning bolt. We must deal with that. So boom, boom. And if they're recurring the rotpriest, or if they can protect that rotpriest, that is the bads, man. Because we got to get the rotpriest gone. So MTG Deckmasters winning turn 2, I imagine his deck does that a lot. Because it's protecting that rotpriest that's going to win. It's not even the infect necessarily. It's keeping it on the board for a turn or 2. And there it is. So dealing with it, yeah. I think in Modern, it's a great card that has like opened the format up. MTG Deckmasters has changed my mind about Modern. And I told my wife, like, she's known this. I am the one that's like in the back end of this because she actually plays, she loves like the 60 card format. And she actually has like a kicking like mono white weenie deck that is really competitively put together, but it's a secret, I guess. You've seen parts of it on here, I think. That being said, she's not as surprised as I am by the competitiveness of these decks, but anybody that subscribes to me right now, subscribe to MTG Deckmasters. Because if you like my videos, this guy is like me, but like to the third power, and with modern, like, and without the jank. So if you like really good modern decks, like come to me for like the jankiest cedh and commander decks you can find. Go to MTG Deckmasters for really optimized, really kicking modern decks. And always come back here for the kooky ones too, because there's got to be a weird, janky way to deal with those optimized decks, and that's our job, right? So thanks for joining me for the talking time here, and it's been real, guys. Lots of grim things in the news. So as we go out there, just remember, like, peace, love, and hair grease, man. Be all good to one another, right? Street racing, all good, man. Go out there with your skateboards and your GoPros and have some good times in the out of doors. And be good to one another, you know? And always storm with grace. And apologize to your opponent when you slam the lightning bolts in their face.